What up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Um, Today's video, the topic is going to be about the child that's tucked away. I cried like 2 days ago. First time I've cried in 6 months. Looked like I had tears falling down my face. Um, I was fat all my life up until 19. So I say from like 7 to 19, I was fat, 200 pounds over. So with that comes a lot of vocal ridiculing. You're being picked on. And it's blatant and it's subliminal. Being picked on. And so going through that, I had to develop a tough backbone, man. I had to develop the ability to ignore. I had to develop a strong sense of self, man. I had to really know who I was, you feel me? Or I had to really stand in who I was. Even if I didn't know who I was, I had to stand in my own being, because you got somebody on the outside of you telling you fat and you built like a slob. Are you gonna listen to them, or are you gonna ignore them, or are you gonna take them words to, you know what I'm saying? And I used to stream with a face cam. So I did that for like 5 years while I was fat. So I was always getting called names and shit. I remember I was playing 2K, bro, but my gamer tag is my YouTube. So they'll be there. Let's say I beat them or I lose, they'll come to my stream and be like, "Oh, you fat," and they'll start laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I've always had to, with that type of upbringing, I learned how to have a strong backbone, how to ignore and how not to care when somebody says something about me. So I really don't care. But 2 days ago, man, I had a fantastic day. My day was beautiful. You know, I did whatever I wanted to do that day. But then I caught myself getting onto a social media app. It's called Monkeys. Like, you meet random people. And as soon as I got in on that app, man, it was a random dude said something about the way I look. Like, and I'm used to this, because on Monkey, everybody trolls. Everybody always talking, you hear me? But it was just something about this day, bro. My wall wasn't up. My mood shifted instantly, gang. Once bro said, like, he talked about I got a pimple. He had talked about my pimple. He said, "Bro, you got a fat pimple in me." I was just like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was on there with my friend at the time. She's a girl. She noticed it instantly. She was like, "You okay? You okay?" And she kept asking me that. "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." But eventually she asked me that one more time, and tears started rolling down my cheek, bro. I started crying. And the reason why I cried, that's what I explained to her too. I think that's just my inner child crying, because I had to be so strong. I had to be so strong when I was younger. I didn't know how to roast back. I didn't know how to say jokes back. I didn't know how to just joke around. No, I take everything serious. But I think that was my inner child crying, because I feel like, dang, bro, I had a great day. Nobody in my life in person is telling me that I look like something. As soon as I get on this damn app, gang, boom, a random person I don't know is promoting negativity and ridiculing me and shit. And normally that happens. It happens all the time. But this day, though, this specific day, it got to me. And since it got to me, I started crying. Like real tears. I ain't cried in like 6. I don't cry, gang. My soul cries, but I never shed tears. But I shed tears 2 days ago, though. No, because I'm telling you, it's my inner child crying. Because it's like, that shit hurt me, bro. That shit, it hurt, dog. Because I was just thinking, like, dang, I ain't do nothing to nobody. I ain't do nothing. I ain't say nothing. I ain't start nothing, gang. I'm just existing, gang. Hop on that bit. Nigga just go on my ass. Nigga just say, I'm just existing, bro. Why do I gotta get ridiculed for existing? So I said healing. Healing inner child or leaving inner child alone. But yeah, that's my inner child, gang. He was questioning, like, dang, why do I gotta get ridiculed for existing? What did I do that's so bad to you that you gotta call me out my name? You gotta say something about how I look. You just gotta say something to me to just try to bring me down. You know that? And normally, a lot, like I say, bro, I don't care. I don't really care. Like, I laugh everything off. But that day, though, I felt it. I felt like, when he said it, it stabbed me, gang. And then she kept asking, are you okay? Are you okay? I ain't helping either. I'm trying to shake it off, and she wanted me to dive deep into it. But I think we all have a child inside of us has been locked away. You know, we have a child inside of us that, it's hot. I was gonna take the shirt off, but I ain't gonna take it off yet. We have a child inside of us that has been hidden because the adult version of ourselves has to come out. You know, the adult version of ourselves is our child version, but with experience, man. And so when you gain experience, you learn, hey, I can't just retaliate because they said this about me. So the next best thing is I'm gonna ignore them. And so all my life I've been ignoring. I ignore. You know, I used to get, bro, when I was in middle school, gang, middle school was probably my worst year, gang. That's probably my worst years, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I was big, bro. I was like 180 in 7th grade, gang. 170, 160. I think I was 160. 160, but I was like 5 foot, 4 foot. I was big and short, gang. And we were in uniform, so my stomach just stick out the uniform like that. I ain't know how to defend myself. I ain't had no deep voice. You know what I'm saying? Raised on my mom, so it's just a lot, bro. I think that's probably, like, I don't really remember all that shit. It's probably why, gang. A lot of trauma and shit. But I have an inner child that felt that comment that bro made 2 days ago. He felt it. And normally I push it away, but I ain't gonna lie, that one stung, bro. And then after him, you just keep meeting around people. Somebody else and I'll be like, what I do deserve? I asked her, this is what I was like, all I'm doing is existing. Why do I deserve to get called names and shit? All I'm doing is existing. Why do I deserve to get beat down? You feel me? But she comforted me though, you know. She did her best to try to get me through it. But I think you have an inner child too. You have a child that yearns for healing, you know. Cause you probably weren't healed. You probably just had to learn how to cope. Like me, I had to learn how to cope with being called names, bro. So I don't care no more. You right, gang. You got it. You hear me? But healing though, Healing is crying. Healing is realizing, damn, I have been through a lot. You feel me? I've been through a lot, man. Mentally. You feel me? Healing is seeing where you were and and seeing where you are now. And combining the two, because you are all that. Feel me? Yeah, man. I forgot what I said. That your child, that the child is locked away. Yeah, you have an inner child, man, that had dreams and goals and aspirations, and that saw the world as roses and flowers and shit. You know, that saw anything as being possible. You feel me? The world. I'm talking about the child that didn't know that the world is mean. That didn't know that people are mean. That didn't know. You feel me? The child that was just so innocent. Feel me? But I think I'm done with this video. I want to make another video. Thank you.